you. Ready? Play.
Hi everyone, and especially hello to you, Alex Eala fans. I want to highlight something though that you might not be aware of, which is the fact that you can become a member. Click that button that says join. And what kind of things can you benefit if you become a member? Well, let's have a quick look. Here you can see some of the things that you will get as a member. First of all, you'll get exclusive videos that'll only be for you first. Secondly, you'll get other videos that will never be released to the public, just for you members. There are various different levels of membership, but you can begin by just becoming a member from as little as €2, £2, or $2 per month. That's a little over 100 Philippine pesos a month. So not much for some extra content, including some Alex Eala content. In fact, if we look at 2 recent uploads, we've got some of her practices and returns and slices, plus footage of her meeting, greeting, and signing autographs for fans. We've also got an unedited preview and prediction here of her upcoming clash in Miami. And we also have an unedited video of her being interviewed by myself last year in Portugal. Completely unedited and almost 20 minutes, exclusive for members only. There will also be hundreds and hundreds more videos available to you as a member, and hundreds more that are going to be uploaded in the near future, all for just members and all for just $2, €2, or £2 a month. So, what are you waiting for? Just click that join button right now and become a member and get access to the extra footage and, of course, little emojis, including an Alex Eala one, of course. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
Welcome back to the channel, tennis fans. We are here to preview the upcoming clash between Alex Eala and Karolina Muchova. Eala has got to this stage after a 3-set, 3-hour, 20-minute epic over Laura Siegemund in the round of 64, followed by a little bit more of a rudimentary straight sets win over Magdalena yesterday. That was 6-3, 7-6. Eala, of course, was up a set and a break, but Linette reeled her in before Eala won the tiebreak. As for Karolina Muchova, she's had a similar passage to the round of 16. She had a 3-set epic against Osorio in the first round before coming through in straight sets, 6-3, 7-5 over the Brit Katie Bolter yesterday, setting up this clash with Alex Eala. It is the first time that these two players have met, so they haven't played a match before together. Their careers are obviously at very different stages, with Alex very much in the infancy of her career, age 20, whereas Muchova is arguably at her peak, age 29. Of course, it is a career for the Czech that has been beset by injuries. Nevertheless, she has won 2 career titles and been in 1 Grand Slam final, that French Open, of course, of 2023. Where she lost in a 3-set match against Iga Swiatek, and of course she was up a break in that deciding set. The two players come in with Alex Eala, the slightly shorter of the two players, and probably does have the slightly weaker of the two serves. Alex, of course, is a left-handed player, whereas Karolina Muchova is right-handed. And Muchova's record, by the way, against lefties is pretty good. She's won 76% of her matches across her career, including a recent matchup with Marketa Vondrousova. Though that match with Marketa was a win via retirement in Tokyo on a hard court, but she did also beat Marketa in their previous encounter in Ningbo, also on a hard court just a week before. And in fact, if we hone in on Muchova's 3 matches last year against lefties, there was a win over Vondrousova, a loss to Diana Schneider, and also that aforementioned victory over Vondrousova via retirement, although she was up a set in that match in Tokyo. So 2-1, all 3 matches on a hard court last year against lefties. What does this mean for Alex Eala's chances? Well, I think also, if we look at Alex Eala's pedigree in Miami, pretty good, right? She only lost 2 sets in her entire semi-final run last year. And of course, they both came in the semi-final against Jessica Pegula.
They had such a tough draw.
She had straight sets wins over Volinets, Ostapenko, Madison Keys, and Iga Swiatek, as well as the walkover against Paula Badosa en route to the semi-finals. So last year, she didn't drop a set en route to the semi-finals.
They had such a tough draw.
This year, she's dropped 1 set against Laura Siegemund, of course, as I mentioned before that straight sets win over Linette. So in 7 matches, she's lost 3 sets. She loves it in Miami.
They had such a tough draw.
Muchova last year went out in the round of 32, so she has gone 1 step further. That was a round of 32 loss to Svitolina. And if we hone in on Eala's win yesterday against Lynette in particular, it was pretty impressive. She served very well. She got more than 70% of her first serves in, and she also won more than 70% of her first serves and second serve points. So a pretty good serving day. But as Fergus told me, maybe Lynette didn't have her best return day. Now, what about the matchup between these two players? I've already highlighted Muchova's pretty impressive record against lefties. But Muchova, who is she? What type of player is she? Well, she is someone with incredible guile, someone who brings a lot of experience and a lot of variety to the court. Something actually we haven't seen. We've seen Eala against power players. We've seen Eala against maybe erratic players in the form of Diana Yastremska, someone who Eala has performed very well against in victories both this year and last. Players that generally Eala has struggled against have been players that play really well, but also with margin. I'm thinking of Coco Gauff, for example, who, of course, Eala lost to in Dubai 6-love, 6-2. And then also Linda Noskova, she won just 2 games against as well. A player who plays aggressively, but with margin. Both Linda and Coco as well have really good second serves. And I think Muchova's second serve is pretty good as well. When Eala plays players that are erratic, her endurance and her ability to make the court small really helps her as players such as Yastremska, for example, get frustrated and eventually spray a few errors. Also, players who don't have that really good second serve, like Coco and Linda do, can also get punished, as Eala is an elite second serve returner. It'll be interesting to see Eala's return position, therefore, on that second serve. Does she begin the match by playing just inside the baseline on the second serve, but eventually retreat, as she did against Linda and Coco in those matches in Indian Wells and in Dubai, but perhaps she retreated too late? Or does she just stay aggressive all the time? These are questions that Alex is going to have to solve. And like I said, the other thing regarding this matchup is we haven't seen Eala play someone really like Muchova before. What do I mean? I mean Muchova's ability to mix things up, to attack the net. Maybe Laura Siegemund is somebody who's a little similar to Muchova, and it is someone who eventually Eala overcame in 3 sets. But I don't think we'll see Muchova hit as many unforced errors as Laura did across those 3 sets. It was around about 60 unforced errors off the racket of Laura Siegemund in that clash. Whereas I don't see Muchova hitting that number of errors. I do see Muchova is maybe just that little bit better than Laura. I hope Laura doesn't mind me saying so. And therefore, I think this will be a more difficult matchup than Alex had against Laura in the first round. But these are conditions that Alex likes. So how do I see this one going? It's a tricky one to call. But I see this being a 3-set win for Karolina Muchova. It's a really tricky match to predict, by the way. I actually find these 2 players 2 of the most difficult players to predict because you really don't quite know how their matches are going to pan out, how their opponents, especially those coming up against Alex, for example, the first time, are going to react. How are they going to react to the crowd? These are all variables that are very difficult to predict. I also find Muchova quite a difficult player to predict. You know, 1 minute she's winning a WTA 1000, and as she did earlier on this year in the Qatar Open, where she beat Mboko in straight sets in the final. And the next minute, she's in Indian Wells and losing in a fairly underwhelming manner, 6-2, 6-love to Iga Swiatek. Of course, it's Iga Swiatek and Indian Wells, which is a tall order. But I expected the fight for Muchova this year to be much bigger than it was last year in terms of I thought it would be a closer matchup. Turned out not to be the case. Very difficult to predict. Really, though, if Muchova is healthy, fit, and firing, she's a dangerous opponent. And I think she just has the edge on Eala in this clash. Let's listen to what Fergus and Brenner think, both about the match that Eala had against Lynette, but also their thoughts on the upcoming clash with Karolina Muchova.
Goes wide.
Yeah.
Eala gets it done, reaches the 4th round in Miami for the 2nd year in a row. beats Magdalena 6-3, 7-6. Good match.
Great one. Great one for Alex. Fergus, you want to give a little post-match analysis?
Yeah, for
Kind
sure.
of your thoughts. And we also need to look ahead as she is going to play Karolina Muchova.
Okay, so Eala was good today in the big moments. Didn't find herself in trouble too much. Was just broken the once, and after she was broken at 3-2, things could have very easily gone away from her. And suddenly it's 4-3 Lynette, and things become tricky. But in those two big games where she was serving to stay in it at 4-5 and 5-6, she did very well. The crouched forehand in terms of redirection of pace is unbelievable, and her court craft again kind of reigning true, and her ability to predict where the ball's going to be. Excellent work. Lynette wasn't 100%, couldn't back up her win against Iga in round 2, but then again, Eala in Miami is just a little something different.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, just from the brief moments I watched the back end of that second set, impressed with decision making, some tactics. Like, she's so willing to step in on that second serve and crush it, especially that backhand cross court. So that's good. And then her lateral movement, like, still sticking out to me. Such a quick surface. It's difficult to extend points, but she's finding ways to do it. So, mix that in with the grit and kind of determination. She's setting herself up well. And interesting clash coming in for Muchova, someone who poses a lot of variety, which I don't think is bad in the sense of Eala, because she's happy to extend these rallies and work different angles. But obviously, a champion at the Masters 1000 level and someone who has a lot of experience. So, we'll see. It should be a difficult test.
No, for sure. It's going to be a difficult test. And we saw on her run last year that she took out these big names, and
They had such a tough draw.
And she's not opposed to doing it. She can do it. But much like Muchova, Alex also holds that variety, the ability to throw in that forehand slice. Her legs around the court are very strong. Her decision making, as you were saying, is very clear cut. She knows what she wants to do. She plays well in the big moments. That 40-30 point at 5-6, where she nails the right hand sideline twice with two big forehands, is a great indication of where she's at. She's not confident in defending her points this week, and she knows what she has to do, and she's thinking very clearly. Muchova is a different challenge though to Lynette, and it might be a little too much for me. I think I'm going to go Muchova in 3.
Yeah, I mean, good win over Bolter today. Katie was
Absolutely.
able to test her a bit. But yeah, these quicker surfaces, I think it helps the underdog a little bit, obviously depending on who it is. But yeah, I'd say 3 sets. I give Eala a shot though. So she loves the conditions here. Let's see.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Hello, hello. Welcome back, tennis fans. How are we all doing? Let me know in live chat what your thoughts are on this upcoming clash between Alex Eala and Karolina Muchova. Eala won the toss and chose to serve first. I will be sharing the score with you on the screen because they have already got underway. Interesting decision from Alex to choose to serve first. And she is already under a bit of pressure on her serve here at 30-40 with a wonderful forehand winner there from Karolina Muchova. So I'm now going to share the score with you on the screen, by the way. Do hit that like button. Of course, if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. 30-40. Eala serving here. First serve. She gets that first serve in. It's a slice back return, and it is going to be a forehand long on the forehand slice from Alex. So it is an opening game for Karolina Muchova. She does get the break. The crowd is anywhere but full, but of course it is a fairly early start, just past 11 a.m. in Miami. And of course, it is a Monday morning where most people will be at work. Do let me know in the live chat where you are tuning in from. Well, first of all, it's not a fight, Vaklushi. But secondly, I'm obviously not legally allowed to show the match, but I will talk you through it and paint the best picture possible. Yeah, let me know in the live chat, by the way, what you think about this supposed Czech curse of Alex Eala. I'm going to have a quick look to see all these players from, I don't think there's that many, but I know she lost to Noskova and Vondrusova in recent months. So Noskova, of course, from the Czech Republic, beat her in Indian Wells. Vondrusova beat her in, was it Canada or Cincinnati last year? I think Canada. But I think Eala was carrying an injury in that match. Oh, yeah, and she lost to Valentova, didn't she, at the Qatar Open? I forgot about that. So, yeah, there is a bit of a Czech thing maybe going on that I'm not familiar with. I'm just wondering. And of course, Karolina Muchova is from the Czech Republic. Missing her first serve in a big way there, by the way. Wonderful. We've got so many of you tuning in right now. Do hit that like button. And if you hit subscribe, you're going to see that little number above my head click over. We've got over 1,000 people watching on YouTube trying to see this match as we see Eala here down a break already. Big forehand from her, but Muchova deals with it well. Big backhand from Eala goes into the net, and it's going to be 30-love. 30-love. Okay. Yeah, let me know in the live chat, where in the world are you watching this match? Yeah, so Jamie here's got Tennis Channel. Jamie, James, where in the world are you, by the way? James Ski. I'm in Bonn in Western Germany. And it's going to be 40-love now after a backhand from Eala goes into the net. So it's 40-love now. Eala just winning 2 points from the opening 7 so far. 3-game points here. And it is now 2-love for Karolina Muchova, as James Key points out. You're from the Philippines, Sanchez. Are you in the Philippines as well? Because I was born in the UK, but I live in Germany. Jessica from Perth. Oh, you're in Perth, are you? Okay, nice. Watching from Dubai. Actually, everyone in the live chat, let me know where you're watching this match from. Eala here serving at love 2, 15-love. I'm in Germany. Bonn in Western Germany, to be precise. I'm going to go down the live chat right now and see where people are tuning in from. That's an aeroplane. I think it's an aeroplane going above. Some messages of support here. Yep, and that's just reminding people, Gloria, there of the start time. Lots of Tagalog in the live chat. I don't really speak any Tagalog. I do want you to teach me some Tagalog expressions. But, oh, Eala, they're missing that. Really should have done better with that shot there, Alex. 15-all. Christian here thinking Eala and Gibson with upsets today. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, do become a member, by the way, of the Talking Tennis community. Hit that join button and you can become a member. So 15-all here, 7 minutes on the clock. Backhand here from Muchova into the backhand of Eala down the center of the court. Good depth from both players here on this rally. Now it's a wonderful forehand from Karolina Muchova, and Eala can't deal with that, and it's 15-30. Are we seeing the Czech curse once again? Because this is a very good start for Karolina Muchova and anything but a good start for Eala. And there have been matches in recent months where Eala's just come up against someone who plays with really good margin, but with good levels of aggression. And I'm thinking of Coco Gauff in Dubai, and I'm thinking of Linda Noskova in Indian Wells. And we're seeing a similar pattern at the beginning of this match against Karolina Muchova. A long way to go yet, but certainly Eala on the back foot in these opening exchanges. Watching from Columbia City, Laguna, Philippines. 30 all, by the way. We see Alex Eala's coaching team, of course, there. Coach Sandro among them. These are people from the... oh, what about that lob from Eala? 30 all. Watching from New Jersey. Nice. Gloria. Hello. Hello, Yellow Bell Fairy. Actually, let's put this on Instagram as well. I'm going to put this commentary on Instagram too. So let's go live there. $30 all, second serve here. And we know the Eala second serve can be very attackable. In that previous match against Lynette, she got around 70% of her first serves in. Oh, I see Iga Swiatek. Have Iga Swiatek and Wim Fissette gone their separate ways? Yes, they have. Not exactly a surprise, that one. 30-40 here on the Eala serve. So break point again now for Karolina Muchova. Oh, and Eala's missed that. So it is 3-love, Karolina Muchova. Eala would normally make that shot. I don't know what's going on today. Has she got some strapping, by the way, on her right thigh? I think she might have. So, 3-love already, and that's a double break advantage for Karolina Muchova. It does feel as though certain parts of the draw, including this one, have opened up for potential final run. This is, of course, Iga Swiatek's section of the draw. But after her loss to Magdalena in the opening match, it does feel as though this section of the draw has opened up a little bit for someone, maybe to get to the final. Because, of course, everyone here is not on the same side of the draw as Aryna Sabalenka, Jessica Pegula, and Elena Rybakina. All three of those players, those three pre-tournament for me are probably the three most likely to win the tournament, and they're all the three form players, and they've all in the same half of the draw, and they're all not in the Muchova and Eala half of the draw. Welcome, by the way, to those of you just joining, including Yuki the dog. Great to see Yuki the dog in the live chat. Come and say hi, or maybe say woof in the live chat on Instagram. Welcome to those of you watching on Instagram. You, of course, can follow us on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT. You can also follow us on TikTok as well. We have a TikTok account, and of course on X as well. Please do give us a follow. Ah, that's great. Yuki says woof. Interestingly spelt W-U-F-F, which may be a certain dialect of the word woof that I'm not familiar with. I'm more familiar with this English Anglo-Saxon W-O-O-F. But anyway, let me know as well who you are supporting or think is going to win. Oh, Yuki's excited to see some tennis. Good. I know Yuki and the tennis ball are becoming more and more friendly. Okay, also in the live chat, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. I'm in Bonn in Western Germany. We've got someone here from Morocco. Go, Alex. That's cool. Where in Morocco are you? I've been to Morocco a couple of times. Been to Marrakesh. I've been to Rabat, Casablanca as well. Yeah, cool place. I've been to the place on the north coast as well where you get the boat across to Spain. Please do teach me some Tagalog as well in the live chat, especially if they are tennis expressions. Got Sanchez here from the Philippines. Gloria reminding us that she's watching from New Jersey. Jessica in Perth, Australia. Watching from Dubai. That's cool. 30-15 now for Muchova. Oh, by the way, make sure you hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. We're hoping to get to 30,000 subscribers during this tournament. I don't think we'll make 30,000 today. But by the way, Muchova here, 30-15 on her serve. Very, very comfortable so far. We've not even had a juice game in the match thus far. And Eala is a double breakdown. This does have echoes of some of her other matches of late, like the Coco Gauff one in Dubai and the Linda Noskova one in Indian Wells. Fingers crossed Eala can win more than 2 games, which she won in each of those 2 matches. Second serve here for Eala to look at. She's going to attack it. She's inside the baseline, but she puts that backhand into the net. Too many unforced errors so far from Alex Eala as Muchova threatens a 4-love lead. Watching as well from Dubai. Greetings from Indonesia. Hello, Ayanu. All of you watching, by the way, if you haven't hit subscribe, if you all hit subscribe right now, not only will you blow up the internet, you'll also blow up our figure here above my head. If there's about 700 or 800 people watching right now who haven't subscribed. Oh, a lovely forehand winner there from Karolina Muchova, meaning 4-love to the Czech. She has got off to a flyer, much to the chagrin of Alex Eala. 15 minutes on the clock. It's 4-love to Karolina Muchova. Hi, Anita from Taiwan. We've got Cheetah here watching from Canada. Cheetah, are you super fast? I don't know how you say woof in Romania, Yuki. I'm not sure, but maybe you say it like that. Oh, a backhand error from Eala. Love 15. And I think it's about time we have a conversation about bagels here. If you don't know what a bagel is in tennis terms, it is when you don't win a single game in a set. It's 12 of the last 15 points, by the way, have gone the way of Karolina Muchova. I've got some removal guys in the background, by the way. They're over here to remove my sofa. Bizarrely enough, they look like they're going to the bathroom together. But anyway, I better get back to the tennis. We've got Yellow Bell Fairy here watching from Ireland. Welcome. Love 30 here already on the Alex Eala servers. We are very much in bagel territory. It's putting that volley away at the net, Karolina Muchova there for love 30. And yes, so a bagel in tennis terms is not winning a single game in a set. So 6-love or 6-0 or 6-0 being the set score. And we are in that sort of conversation right now as Eala love 30 on her serve. Of course, she was bageled by Noskova in Indian Wells, and she was also bageled by Coco Gauff. Oh, a forehand there. Just too many unforced errors off the racket of Alex Eala thus far. Fingers crossed she's okay physically. And she has got that strapping on the left thigh. We do see that strapping appear from time to time. And Eala on first serves today, she's winning just 20% of her first serve points. It's going to be a smash here from Muchova. She puts away, and it is 5-love for Karolina Muchova. So we are going to take a quick break, and when we'll be back, we'll see out this set.
Ready. Play.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you, or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that you know, I need to focus on. There's nothing much. Nothing
Okay.
much.
Do you
Yeah.
feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life. And I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, I think all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was each such important moments in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Are back, ladies and gentlemen, with Muchova serving for the set, and she hits another winner, and it is 15-love. So we are very much in the conversation of bagels rather than breadsticks. Watching from Brescia, I see. Cebu in the Philippines. Bagel and bagel. Muchova is in super form. Indeed, she is, Renz Monty. Let's go, Alex, says Anita. Yeah. Watching from Manila, Maria. Cool. Nice to have you on board today. Okay, 15-love. Good backhand return there from Eala. We haven't seen enough of those today. 15 all. Oh, great. We've got some Tagalog here. How are you in Tagalog? Kumusta ka? I'm good. How do I say I'm good in Tagalog? Okay, 15 all. 5-love. Eala, I think, at least in terms of respectability, would at least like to get the break. But mind you, no, it doesn't really matter if she serves first in the second set. Ooh, is that a wasp? I think we've got a wasp on or an insect of some sort. Anyway, 15 all. Muchova just patted that away, just like she has done some of her forehands today. Backhand return from Eala's pretty good. She's into the rally here, but on the run. Although that ball's short and Muchova punishes it. 30-15. Yeah, Muchova is still dealing with some animal on the court. Insects are animals, right? Just as I said that, I was thinking maybe we refer to insects as insects and animals as animals. Cardo is not erratic at all. Agree. Oh, lovely picture there, Renz Marty, by the way. Is that your dog? Oh, and Eala puts a winner away. Sorry, Muchova puts a winner away, and it's 2 set points. In just 22 minutes, Karolina Muchova is 1 point away from dishing out a bagel to Alex Eala. So, watching from Naga City here in the Philippines. Well, you are watching a bagel for Karolina Muchova. After that return from Alex Eala goes long. Time for the biggest resets of all resets, because you've lost the first set in 22 minutes. It's not looking great thus far for Alex Eala, although in terms of actually just being 1 set down, it's not the end of the world. But the manner of losing that first set will disappoint Alex and her fans, no doubt. Let's have a quick listen, though, to Alex talking about coming back from the verge of defeat. So she is known for digging deep and grabbing victories from the jaws of defeat. And we're going to listen to her talk about her mentality right now.
How do you put into fortifying that mental pressure or that mental fortitude? I'm curious how that process is for you.
It's all about experience for me. I have been competing since I was 6 and playing tennis since I was 4. So you can imagine how many tough situations I've been in regards with tennis. So I truly feel that the more you're put in that situation, the more you learn about yourself and the more you're able to approach certain moments in a way that suits you best. So I think being in those situations and really being brave is the best thing that I can do for myself.
Interestingly, Eala did manage to get 69% of her first serves in that set. It is a healthy percentage, but it doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the set panned out because she only won 18, I repeat, 18% of her first serves, which even for someone who has a weak first serve or weak serve in general, like Alex, that is exceptionally disappointing for her to win just 18%. In fact, she won almost double the number of points on her second serve. But listen to this, which will also disappoint Alex. On return, Muchova won 100% of her first serve. So in other words, Eala on return didn't win a single point on the Karolina Muchova first serve, meaning 57% of Muchova's serves, which were landing in, her first serves landing, none of those points were going the way of Alex Eala. And 6 unforced errors from Alex will also disappoint her. That's 1 per game on average. And she didn't garner a single break point in the entire set. So certainly a set to forget about if you're Alex Eala. And fingers crossed from her perspective, she can quickly forget about it because we are now about to commence the second set with Eala serving first. And she's going to miss her first serve here. So it is going to be a second serve for Karolina Muchova to look at. Indeed, Romeo. Romeo, by the way, I don't know who your Juliet is, but do let me know in the live chat. So Romeo, yeah, he's saying it's not over yet, Alex. Maybe just give the first set up and fight your way back. And good defending there from Muchova. Eala now at the net, but that's not a really good shot. But that is from Alex as she puts the smash away for 15 love. But I think Muchova actually let her off the hook there because that approach from Eala wasn't the best approach I've ever seen in tennis history. That's for sure. See, what she needs to be doing with that forehand is it's got to be a lot closer to the lines. But she got away with it because the lob from Muchova left a lot to be desired. Okay. 15 love here. Eala keen to win her first game of the match. Backhand return, forehand, backhand cross court from Eala into the forehand of Muchova. Eala really not playing very aggressively today. Look, although she's got away with that one because a slice from Muchova goes wide into the tram line, so it is 30 love. But Eala feels underpowered today a bit. Normally she's hitting that ball with such venom, but today doesn't seem to be painting lines like she often is. But nevertheless, it is 30 love here on her serve. I see some mentions of Sharapova in the live chat. Missing her first serve here. So a second serve here for Karolina Muchova to look at. 30 love. Backhand return from Karolina. Forehand from Eala goes into the net. We've seen that a few times today. 30-15. She looks a bit under the weather as well, Alex. Looks a bit perturbed. I don't know if it's super, super hot today in Miami. Not even midday yet, of course. Bye-bye, Yuki. And hello to anyone watching on Instagram. Double fault from Eala means we're at 30 all. And suddenly a rather comfortable service game for Alex has some peril. That's the second double fault of the match for Eala. Okay. So 30 all, 27 minutes on the clock. Eala, backhand return from Muchova is pretty good. Eala struggles to get it, but she does get it. But that backhand is also pretty good. Now it's Muchova at the net. She should put this away and does. 30-40. We've got Doomsays in the chat suggesting this could be 6 love for Karolina Muchova. Well, we are a little away from that conversation, but perhaps that conversation becomes more and more pertinent if Karolina Muchova gets a break here. 30-40, Eala serving. Down the tee. Doesn't make the first serve, so it is going to be a second serve for Karolina Muchova to potentially attack here. Where is Eala going to go with this serve? She goes into the backhand of Muchova. Forehand from Eala goes into the net, and it is a break of serve, and it is 1-love in this second set for Karolina Muchova, but perhaps more significantly, it's 1-love with a break. It does feel like these matches we've seen with Eala recently, where when she plays players with a certain level of aggression, but they also play with enough margin, and I'm looking at you, Linda Noskova, I'm looking at you, Coco Gauff, it has those kind of vibes. It has those kind of vibes. Ah. So, balls mean? Well, so when they change the balls every 7 games, so as we can see, we've had 7 games already, and this is being the 8th game, they changed the balls. So they used the same balls for 7 games, and then they switched to new balls. However, Eala has won the first point, perhaps because of that little bit more pop on the ball. Muchova hits that forehand long. What a good return from Eala there, by the way. Now Eala comes into the net, but I think, that forehand was just missed from Alex. So it's 15 all. So, yes, 15 all. And Eala's going to go long there, so it's going to be 30-15. "30 minutes on the clock, and it is looking pretty gloomy for Alex Eala right now. Huge return there, but what a backhand winner from Karolina Muchova. That was a little bit unfortunate because Eala went big on that return, and it just clipped the top of the net, and it sat up quite nicely for Muchova. Nevertheless, Muchova then paints a line with that backhand down the line, and Eala can't believe her luck, as in misfortune. And it is 40-15 for the Czech, as she seeks to win her 8th game in a row. Backhand return from Eala is decent. Oh, you're kidding. Eala, they just can't believe what has just happened. That's another line being painted by Karolina Muchova. And that was a bit fortunate because I don't think that was intended to be a forehand winner. But it landed in when, for all intents and purposes, it looked like not the cleanest of strikes from Karolina Muchova. And it is 6-love, 2-love. 8 games now played, and 8 games have all gone the way of the number 13 seed, Karolina Muchova. And we've not even hit midday yet. Let me know the time where it is where you are, by the way. Where I am, it's just coming up to 4:45 in the afternoon. Got a forehand here for Eala. We will take a quick break in a couple of minutes at the end of this game, so we have a changeover. It is love 15 here on the Eala serve, so not the ideal start to this service game. Eala serves down the tee, forehand chop back return, backhand from Eala goes into the backhand down the center of the court, but she's got a bit fortunate there with an unforced error off the racket of Muchova. Eala clenches her fist as though she's not going to give up anytime soon. 15 all. We will take a quick break at the end of this game. Do make sure you hit that like button, by the way. And if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. And if you, by the way, hit subscribe right now, you'll see that number above my head tick over, tick over, tick over. And you'll see that change, and you can do a little dance knowing that you have made a difference. Eala can't believe that as she sees another winner fly past her, 1530. And when you see that number tick over to 28,326, that'll be you. That'll be you. But to us, you're more than just a number. You are something. And there you go. Look, someone's just done so. A second serve here for Muchova to look at 1530. And things are going from bad to worse for Alex Eala right now. Oh, wonderful forehand up the line from Eala, 30 all. Muchova struggled to get that. She just about got her racket on it, but nowhere near enough purchase to get it back on the island. But look at that speed on the serve there. 74 miles an hour is somewhat underpowered. Bearing in mind your Sabalenkas and your Rabakinas of this world are regularly hitting over 100 miles an hour on their serve. But we're going to get a game point now for Eala as Muchova goes long. Are we going to get the first game for Alex Eala in this contest? Well, she's 1 point away. (40-30) game point for Alex Eala. Serve's done the tee. The forehand return is too good. And once again, that Eala serve, the powder puff serve, gets punished. 11:45. Do you think this match might be done by midday? Look at that. Total points. 35 points for Muchova and just 12 for Alex Eala thus far. Ooh, that's unlucky because I thought that serve was going to land in. Second serve here for Muchova to look at deuce. Last week I was talking, we've got a game point now for Eala. Last week, people in the live chat were telling me about famous breweries, famous places where they make beer in Manila. Also, I want to know stuff about what's a typical, because I'm guessing it's pretty late at night. You guys are, if you're watching in the Philippines, what time is it there? 1, coming up to 1 a.m., maybe, I think. Oh, no, coming up to midnight, actually. Coming up to midnight. So it could be worse. Oh, Eala puts that forehand long deuce. Because I remember the last couple of matches from Alex, I think they were starting at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning in Manila. But at least this one started around about 11 p.m. Yeah, almost 12. 11:47 p.m. Thank you, Malu. Thank you, Joy. All right. Well, deuce. So I think, if I've done my maths correctly, it's exactly 12 hours time difference to Miami to Manila, because it's coming up to noon in Miami, and therefore it's coming up to midnight in... Oh, it's a good return, Eala. He's struggling. From the minute the serve lands in... That serve, by the way, 96 miles an hour. That isn't too bad. Oh, 76, not 96. That explains it. That explains why Muchova could attack that. All right, break point here for Karolina Muchova to make it 9 games in a row. She's been merciless in her ruthlessness today. 79 miles an hour, that first serve, but it didn't land in. So it's going to be a second serve. And you feel like Eala is probably going to go big on this second serve because she can't take any risks. Does land in. Forehand from Eala's not bad. Good defending there from Muchova. And that's one of the things that Eala's not necessarily that familiar with. Someone who can defend as well as Muchova can. And that forehand's going to be a winner. Eala's movement, though, today is way off. I think her movement is compromised. Now, I don't know if it's the heat. I don't know if she's unwell. I don't know if it's the left thigh. But she is compromised today, one way or another. Taking nothing away from Karolina Muchova, who's playing beautifully thus far. 6-love, 3-love. We will take a quick break where you'll get a reminder of how you can get some nice talking tennis merchandise.
Ready. Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. There we go, people. 3 love, 15 love. $40 minutes on the clock. Serves down the tee, backhand return. Forehand now from Muchova into the backhand of Eala. That's better from Alex. That's better. A bit more purchase on some of those shots. $15 all. Okay, we're into the rally here, but that's too good for Muchova. 30-15. Going in behind Eala there. $40-15 now for Muchova. It was a decent return from Eala, but that backhand cross court from Muchova is just too good. 40-15. And it is 6 love, 4 love. That's 10 games played and 10 games won for Karolina Muchova. I know some of you might be thinking, by the way, that are watching, why doesn't Karolina just like give Alex a game? And I get it, but you can't be doing that because, especially in the early stages of the second set, which we still imagine Muchova just says, yeah, okay, I don't want to do love and love here. But then she gives Alex one game. Well, then suddenly it's 3-1, and you don't know. 3-1 is very retrievable. So you just can't really afford to do that. And also, I don't think Alex would expect that kind of generosity. I do think that there are two things at play here, though. We've got Muchova playing unbelievably well, punishing every single scenario, especially on those serves from Eala. But Eala is just slightly off it as well today, no doubt about it. Her movement. Oh, what a backhand cross court from Alex. See, we haven't seen enough of that sweet ball striking from her today, which we normally see. Listen, also, I'm going to say something now, right? Here we go. Big call, John is going to say this. We're not going to get the double bagel. We're not getting the double bagel. All right? Big call, John. This won't be 6-love, 6-love. It might be 6-love, 6-1 or 6-love, 6-2. Oh, that's going to land in. This is going to be really tough. Eala comes into the net, puts... Oh, no, Alex. And that sums up her day. A fairly routine drive volley at the net that she would normally put away with her eyes closed. Well, she had her eyes open there, but she dumped it into the net. And the thing is, if you're playing football, you want to be getting that in the net, right? You want to get the ball in the net. Tennis, nah, got to get it over the net. And that's the difference, you see, people. I mean, I'm pretty good at both football and tennis. And so in football, I find the back of the net. And in tennis, I hit it over the net. And that's how it is, you see. Back of the net. Right, 15-all. And a second serve. I've got Florian spamming me on Instagram right now. All right, forehand, across court, backhand for me. Oh, that's gone long. Oh, that was so close to landing in. And Eala's super happy with that one. I don't think Eala's thinking she's going to win this match from here, but she is thinking, I need some respect and I need a game or two. Remember, 10 games played so far, and 10 games have gone the way of Karolina Muchova. Okay, serves out wide, but she's going to miss the first serve. So Karolina Muchova, of course, a place in the quarterfinals at stake. I'm going to have a quick look at the draw to see who presumably Muchova's going to be playing potentially in the next round. Forehand here for Muchova. Clips the net, lands in. Eala, does she punish it? She should definitely put this volley away, and she does. 40-15. Left hand, clenched fist raised. 2 game points for Alex Eala to finally get on the board. We've got Shevchenko and Humbert playing right now. By the way, if Eala gets on the board in this, at least she'll match the tally of Stefanos Tsitsipas yesterday. Oh, but that serve is too punishable. Good depth there, though, from Alex, but she's being made to run here, and she's not been too happy with that today. Oh, but the drive volley from Muchova goes long, and look at that scream of delight from Alex Eala as she finally wins her first game of the match, much to the delight of certain sections of the crowd, and it is 4-1. I don't think that scream was a scream of, I'm going to come back and win this match. But it was a scream of relief as much as delight in terms of the fact that she was on the precipice of being double bagel. Because, of course, if Eala had been broken there, it would have been 6-love, 5-love, and Muchova would have served for that double bagel. She lofts up that backhand. Oh, I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to get Alex Eala's tennis racket. That's what I'm going to do. And show you people the racket that she uses. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This racket given to me courtesy of Babolat, or actually Tennis Warehouse Europe, which, by the way, if you go to Tennis Warehouse Europe, make sure you use the code TALK10, TALK10, when you check out, and you'll get a discount on various goods. Yeah, this is the Babolat racket that she uses, including the white strapping there. Look, you'll see on the same for Alex. This is the same racket, of course, that Carlos Alcaraz uses as well. Anyway, that aside, the players are now returning to the court. 4-1 Muchova leads. She is 2 games away from a spot in the quarterfinals in Miami. And I'm going to have a quick look at the draw right now. Breaking news, by the way, Iga Swiatek and her coach Wim Fissette have gone separate ways. Probably not the biggest surprise we've ever heard. Let's have a look at the draw. I've got the men's draw here. I want the women's singles draw. Of course, Eala opted not to play doubles at this tournament. Oh, that's going to land in. I think Muchova thought that was going to go out, so she let it go. And she does bring up a wry smile, which, of course, you can afford to do when you're up 6-love 4-1. I think if she was on match point there, it might have been slightly different. But anyway, that is what it is. Okay, round of 16. Where are you? Oh, Mino Andreeva, Victoria Mboko. Actually, Mino Andreeva, Victoria Mboko. One of those two will play one of these two, presumably Karolina Muchova. That reminds me, when is Mino Andreeva's match about to take place? Could be up shortly. It's on Butch Buchholz court, which I always think is an amusing name. Okay. Good return there from Eala. Love 30 here. Oh, but she puts that forehand into the net. And you know what? 4-2 and things get interesting, right? But anyway, 15-30. Yeah, so the winner of this match will play the winner of Mino Andreeva and Victoria Mboko. I can see Mboko getting to the final, by the way. Oh, and of course, Mboko and Muchova, that was the final, wasn't it, in the Middle East recently when they one of the WTA 1000s there. Okay, second serve here for Eala to look at, and look at her ready to pounce inside the baseline. Pounce she does, but that's a forehand, makeable forehand for both players. Nice cross-court angle that Alex has created there. Now she goes up the line with good depth, but also good depth from both players, actually. That's a backhand cross-court, but now she's vulnerable down the line, and Muchova sees that gap and seizes the opportunity, 30-all. We are getting closer and closer to checkmate. Do you like that, people? Do you see the pun there? Check. Spelt C-Z-E-C-H. All right. Puns, tick, done. In set 2, by the way, we've had 8 winners off the racket of Karolina Muchova to the 4 of Alex Eala. And that forehand return is going to go into the net. And so it is game point now for Muchova to go 5-1 up. For me, it's Mboko, Matthew. I haven't seen Andreeva's previous match, but I saw her first match against McCartney Kessler. And yeah, it didn't fill me with a great deal of hope that Andreeva's going to turn the corner any minute. Oh, by the way, Matthew, have you heard the news about Wim Fissette and Swiatek going their separate ways? Game point here for Muchova to go 5-1 up. Oh, what happened to Arsenal yesterday, Matthew, by the way? Game for Muchova, and it is 5-1. So, Karolina Muchova, 51 minutes on the clock. She is one game away from a spot in the quarterfinals of Miami, as the clock strikes midday in Miami, and therefore it strikes midnight in Manila, and the rather less ceremonious 5 p.m. in Germany. Okay, Eala serves into the net on the first serve. I said we wouldn't get a double bagel, and I was right. I said we'd get 6-love 6-1, 6-love 6-2. Big call, John. Backhand return into the backhand of Eala. Forehand now on the Muchova. Now it's a forehand cross-court from Eala. Decent angle created there from the Filipina, but she's going to miss that forehand. And so it is love 15. Muchova 3 points away from a spot in the quarterfinals. Love 15 here on the Eala serve. First serve goes into the net from Alex. So a second serve for Alex Eala here to dish up. Wonderful return from Muchova, but it's not won the point outright. Now she's got a drive volley that she misses by some margin. Honestly, I think Ghosty would have made that drive volley. But Karolina Muchova didn't. And that's what counts. 15 all. Yes and no. I wasn't stunned by that yesterday, Matthew. And I'm not stunned by this either. But there is a bit of a difference. The last few games, Steph was like, Steph was a grumpy so-and-so throughout. I'll go Mensik in this one, Matthew. Go Mensik there. Defending champ, of course. But yeah, I guess the margin of victory for Feast was surprising. I've got a couple of game points, though, for Eala, and I did suggest that this will be love and 2. Big call, John. Maybe you should pay attention, people. That backhand there, return from Muchova goes long. So yeah, 2 game points here for Alex Eala. Yeah, now you know, Matthew. But that has been on the cards for a little while, I think, the whole Igor and Vinfacet thing. Okay, 40-15 here for Eala. Forehand return into the backhand of Alex. Good depth there from both players. But the forehand's going to go long from Muchova, and it is 5-2. When the players return to the court, Muchova will be serving for the match.
Ready. Play.
Hi, everyone, and especially hello to you, Alex Eala fans. I want to highlight something, though, that you might not be aware of, which is the fact that you can become a member. Click that button that says join. And what kind of things can you benefit if you become a member? Well, let's have a quick look. Here you can see some of the things that you will get as a member. First of all, you'll get exclusive videos that'll only be for you first. Secondly, you'll get other videos that will never be released to the public, just for you members. There are various different levels of membership, but you can begin by just becoming a member from as little as €2, £2, or $2 per month. That's a little over 100 Philippine pesos a month. So not much for some extra content, including some Alex Eala content. In fact, if we look at 2 recent uploads, we've got some of her practices and returns and slices, plus footage of her meeting, greeting, and signing autographs for fans. We've also got an unedited preview and prediction here of her upcoming clash in Miami. And we also have an unedited video of her being interviewed by myself last year in Portugal. Completely unedited and almost 20 minutes, exclusive for members only. There will also be hundreds and hundreds more videos available to you as a member, and hundreds more that are going to be uploaded in the near future, all for just members. Oakley Dokley, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen, as we see Karolina Muchova serving for the match. 6-love, 5-2. Her serve goes out wide. Backhand return is decent, but what a forehand +1 winner there from Karolina Muchova to bring up 15-love. Remember, the winner of this match will play Victoria Mboko or Mira Andreeva in the next round. Forehand return, miss-hit return there from Eala, and it is 30-love. And it's going to be a second serve here at 30 love. Served out wide. Backhand return is going to miss from Alex Eala. So we have 2 match points for Karolina Muchova. Sorry, 3 match points for Karolina Muchova, but it is going to be a second serve for Eala to look at. She returns. It's a miss hit. The forehand from Muchova goes into the net. So 40-15. A brief moment of respite, I would imagine, for Eala, rather than... Okay, so 2 more match points here for Karolina Muchova. Serves, forehand return, backhand from her goes into the net. So 40-30, couple of decent returns. Well, actually, the previous return was a miss hit, I think. So maybe that was a bit fortunate. That was a really good return. So it is 40-30. 40-30 here. Still match point, but it is the third one for Karolina Muchova. Where are you going to go with this serve? Out wide, decent forehand return, but now she comes into the net with a really good forehand of her own. Now she's got a smash to attack. She puts it away, and Karolina Muchova, in exactly 1 hour, beats Alex Eala 6-love, 6-2. It's the same scoreline which we saw, or losing 2 games or winning just 2 games, the same scoreline that Alex Eala, of course, lost to both Coco Gauff and Lina Noskova in recent WTA 1000 events. And so it is Karolina Muchova who proceeds to the quarterfinals in Miami at the expense of the Filipina Alex Eala. Eala will have to dust herself down and get ready for the clay court season, the European clay. I don't know Alex's next scheduled tournament, whether she's on the roster for Stuttgart. This time last year, of course, she played a WTA 125 in Portugal. She thanks the crowd as her Miami Open comes to an end this year at the 4th round stage, as opposed to the semi-final stage that she made a year ago in Florida. And yeah, 10 past 12 local time, exactly 1 hour. We're going to hear from Karolina Muchova now, talk about this particular win that she's had, 6-love, 6-2 over Alex Eala, to progress to the quarterfinals in Miami. By the way, she served beautifully today, and she punished every single weak serve off the Alex Eala racket with little respect for that Eala serve. She just went for it, and she played beautifully. Yes, there was a couple of times when Eala's movement seemed compromised. I don't know if Eala was a little bit unwell or if that thigh strapping affected her, but nevertheless, a ruthless performance from Karolina Muchova. First time in her career, she's in the quarterfinals in Miami.
Spectacular fashion today. Did that feel to you as good as it looked to us?
Yeah, it felt pretty good. I mean, I get nervous here and there when it's going, I don't want to say easy, but when the score is in your favor, it's like you have to be cautious. So a little bit nervous, but obviously I'm super happy to be here in quarters. It's incredible.
You got your first WTA 1000 title earlier this season, obviously playing some of the best tennis of your career. Is that because we're healthy, we're all in one piece, or is there something that you're working on the practice court that you're seeing pay off?
I'd say it's kind of everything, like good preparation, good team around me, good people, playing, keeping healthy, as you mentioned, good practices. It's kind of little pieces of everything, and when it clicks, I'm happy it clicked, and that I'm here playing some good tennis.
It clicked today for sure.
Boko and Andreeva, the teenagers, and you have a few more years under your belt. When you think back to that point in your career, what do you think is the biggest difference in you today? should I say expected experience?
She's definitely more experienced than she used to be. And that was an experience and a half for Alex Eala. That's the third time in recent weeks where Eala's had a chastening experience in terms of the fact winning just 2 games from 14. Same against Coco Gauff in the Middle East. Same against Linda Noskova. The Czech curse, it appears, has returned once again. And yes, Alex Eala, as I said, exits this tournament. She will be slipping down the rankings. Could have been a lot worse. You know, a second or third round exit for Alex would have seen her drop down to almost 50 in the world. But it won't drop so much. But it is going to be a real battle now for Eala to get into the top 32 before the French Open. And what does the top 32 means? It means a seeding spot at Roland Garros. But that doesn't look likely right now in terms of the fact that her clay is not her strong suit. That is for sure. Clay doesn't really bother Karolina Muchova. She's certainly an all-surface player. And yeah, imperious today. Eala just couldn't deal with the slices. She couldn't deal with the unerring accuracy. At times, a little bit fortunate, I think, some of those shots off the racket of Karolina Muchova. But the class gap between the two was sizable, at least today. So another learning moment for Alex. But Karolina Muchova won't give a damn about that. She is through to the quarterfinals. And yeah, she just served beautifully today, did Karolina. And also in terms of the return, punishing that serve of Alex Eala. Remember, Alex Eala won just 18% of her first serve points in the first set. Second set got a little bit better. Of course, we got to 6-love, 4-love, and we were considering a potential double bagel. And yet, she did get on the board. Let's have a quick look at the stats from this encounter. Of course, the most important stat of all, 6-love, 6-2 in favor of Muchova. 69% of Muchova's first serves landed in. Oh, I can see Eala's first serve stats dropped dramatically in that second set because actually her first serves landing in stat wasn't too bad in the first set, but actually dropped to 52% for Eala. But look at this. Maybe the biggest disparity between these two players. First serve points won. Karolina Muchova, 80%. Alex Eala, 36%. Huge disparity, and I think it contributed to the huge disparity in the scoreline. Unforced errors off the racket of Eala today, bearing in mind they played just 14 games, 13 unforced errors. That's almost an unforced error for every game. And she wasn't able to get a single break point on the Muchova serve. Muchova, meanwhile, 5 break points, 5 break points won. She was ruthless today. And now Eala will dust herself down and look forward to the clay court season, although I don't know if she'll be looking forward to it exactly. All right. I do just want to have a quick word on what we know from breaking news today, which is the fact that Wim Fissette and Iga Swiatek have gone their separate ways. There is a statement from Wim on social media, which I'm going to find right now. But yes, probably not the biggest shock in tennis. I think it has been coming. There were some suggestions that they were going to go their separate ways a few weeks or months ago, but that turned out not to be the case. But here's Iga Swiatek's statement. Sometimes life and sport bring moments like this. Miami was challenging for me. We saw those pointed remarks that she made in some of her post-match comments. She said, I feel disappointment, bitterness, and responsibility for my performance on the court, of course. I've also learned a lot of important lessons, and I think that's very human, said Iga. That being said, after many months of working together with my coach, Wim Fissette, that's a bit of an unusual thing, many months, I think it was well over a year. I've decided to take a different path. It was an intense time full of challenges and many important experiences. Winning Wimbledon, I think, was certainly up there with one of those experiences. I'm grateful for his support, experience, and everything we achieved together, including one of my biggest dreams in sport. Well, we know what that was. Wim, thank you for this time and for the lessons I've learned. Thanks to you. I wish you all the best, both personally and professionally. The rest of my team remains unchanged. I think people will obviously be wondering about, that's possibly the most pointed sentence of all in this statement, bearing in mind Daria Abramovich, her sports psychologist guru, been alongside her for a few years now. I know there are many questions, but I'll let you know what's next at the right time. taking a moment to take care of myself, process this experience, and prepare for a new chapter. Simply step by step, because as often I say, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Thank you for your support. See you soon. Vim Facet has also put out a statement posted on Instagram, and he says, "You never know where life will take you and the ones you will meet along the way. In 2018, I met Iga at the Wimbledon Champions Dinner after she won the juniors title there. 7 years later, we won it together. A nice story," he says. "We both wanted and worked for more, but shared important moments and lessons. Iga, I now wish you good luck and success in what's next. I'm sure you will have it." Of course, a kind thanks to Iga's fans, especially the Polish community, for the support. "I met many of you in person, and I appreciate the true passion you have for the sport. I hope it only continues to grow in the country. With my family here with me, I reflect on the kind messages I've received, and I'm really looking forward to the future." What do I make of those statements? Well, first of all, I think the rest of my team remains unchanged from Iga. I thought that that's an unusual thing to add to the statement. I don't think we need to say that, but maybe there's been lots of questions, perhaps from the Polish media, regarding Dario Abramovich's position, but yeah, not surprised by that. She said, "I'm going to take a moment to take care of myself." I wonder if that might mean she skips Stuttgart. I mean, she's on the roster there, but she might just take a bit more longer. I don't know, because if you want to have a moment, you would expect that more than a few days, but keep an eye on that. Vim as well, suggesting, I mean, it's fairly cordial between both players, wishing each other good luck. Is it the biggest of surprises? Probably not. Probably not. There's been some rumors about the suggestion. I saw a few things as well, I think, in the Middle East, where I could see that the Daria and Vim thing, they were sitting separately, for example. They'd be sat next to each other, and then suddenly, a couple of games later, they'd be sitting not just apart, but different rows. And so I don't know if that relationship has necessarily functioned ideally. And maybe there was not enough room for both of them. And Iga, unsurprisingly, has chosen Daria over Vim. And so, yeah, that is the case. Of course, there'll be lots of speculation, but I know what a bubble and cocoon that these people live in. I've been on the receiving end of her team trying to, let's say, make their message clear. I always find Iga as an individual very approachable, very nice, very forthcoming. I find it a little bit more difficult with what goes on around her. And I'm not the only one who says that. I know one or two other Polish tennis players have even told me that. Not necessarily. I know the relationship between Iga and the Polish media can be fractured at times, understandably so, bearing in mind some of the stories that they write. But actually, I think there's other people within Polish tennis as well that find the whole, cocoon that maybe they all live in a little bit not conducive for good communication, let's say. All right, that is that. Thank you for joining today for this Eala versus Muchova watch along. Pity for Alex Eala and her fans, but obviously excellent news for Karolina Muchova as she progresses to the quarterfinals. Thank you for joining today. And of course, you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
All right, Alex, thanks for joining Talking
Thank you for
Tennis
having me.
today. Thank you. First thing is, just tell us about your win that you had yesterday in the singles.
Well, it was a tough win, definitely. A lot of challenges with the weather, changing conditions. So I think it was a great way to start off the clay season.
Cool. Talking of clay, where are we at with your game and your preference? Clay, grass, hard? what's your sort of preferred condition?
I prefer hard court. It's the one I grew up in, and I think my game naturally is more suited to that. But I've been, of course, I've been playing on clay for a long time as well. It's true that the clay season is shorter, much shorter than the hard season, but you know, I love clay, and I'm just, you know, trying to get it to love me back.
Good. You're going to be playing Udvari next. Do you know much about her? And tell us what you're thinking ahead of that match.
I've seen her around quite often. I've never played her before, but I think that's adds to, you know, the excitement of the match. But, you know, trying to go in with the same mindset as the match before, trying to stick with my shots and trust my tennis.
Doubles with Katie today. Of course, you lost, but you beat her in Miami. Did you talk about that match at all?
No, we haven't. She did congratulate me on, you know, that whole week, and she's a great sportsman. I think she's super nice, and we get along well. So I really enjoyed that doubles, even though we couldn't end up taking the win. But it's fun with her. Yeah.
Yeah. How has life changed since that Miami run for you, or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that, you know, I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life, and I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was each such important moments in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What about this? World number one or Grand Slam, if you could choose one?
Grand Slam.
Okay.
Hands down.
Which one?
Wimbledon.
Okay. Nice.
But both. I mean, if I could, I would choose both. Yeah.
Well,
Grand
of course. Yeah. Okay. Have you heard about these comparisons maybe with Leylah Fernandez? I mean, obviously in terms of your game, you're both lefties. You both sometimes take the ball early. Are you familiar with these comparisons, and how do you feel about that?
No, I'm not really familiar with those comparisons, but I think Leylah's a great player. Obviously, she did the final in US Open a couple of years back, so she's a trailblazer in her own way. I think I'm not so close with her. We've had a couple of interactions, but she seems like a nice girl, so not mad about that comparison at all. She's a good player. Yeah.
Have you got a favorite shot? If I'm going to give you a shot, and this is match point to win Wimbledon, what is it?
That's a good question. They asked me which one I prefer the other day, forehand and backhand. I was also kind of on the edge. I would say maybe a backhand cross court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cross court winner.
But yeah, I don't know. It really depends. There's so many things that can happen during the match. Depends on the opponent, the court. But yeah, I think that one has been there from the beginning. Like now, I definitely have a lot of weapons aside from that I've been working on. But I feel like that backhand just came natural from the beginning. Yeah.
And have you ever dreamt, and then you fall to the grass, for example, at Wimbledon? Have you ever dreamt about that?
I think everybody's dreamt of that. Yeah, I have. So, yes.
All right, I'm going to show you some pictures now, and I want you to tell me the first thing that kind of comes into your mind, or just some of your thoughts. So,
I Yeah, this was, I believe, in Florida,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. I won like the Little Mo Grand Slam. It was, you had to get that trophy. The trophy, as you can see, is bigger than I am.
Yeah.
It was like the tallest trophy ever presented in junior tennis or something like that. That was a big thing, and we had to take it apart and ship it back home in a box. Yeah, so I bet that was difficult for my parents. But there's my brother as well. He competed also, and he was like 2 points away from winning that same trophy.
Oh.
Yeah, but such a happy memory in my young childhood. Yeah.
Do you ever think about some of these moments when you're on the court? Do you ever think about your childhood? Do you ever think about something like this?
No, on the court, no, I don't think about it. Definitely comes to mind when I start reminiscing on my whole journey, on what I've achieved in the past month. But on the court, it doesn't pop
Cool.
into my head. Yeah.
Okay, Amazon Prime documentary. That's what this, because this is when I first became aware of you. What are your thoughts now, a few years later, on that?
I don't know. I think a lot of people got to know me through this documentary. So obviously a big privilege to be part of that. A lot of people will come, oh, are you the girl from Amazon Prime? Yes, that's me. So now hopefully I'll be known for more things than that.
For sure.
But this is it's so nice to have these memories and these moments captured on camera.
Yeah, cool. US Open junior title. I was there when you won
You
that.
were
Yes, I
there.
was. Yeah,
Okay.
just as a fan, but yeah, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was such a precious moment. I feel it was so full of emotion, and yeah, I started crying, and I feel like, of course, Junior Grand Slam doesn't guarantee anything for the future, but it's a huge achievement, you know, and it's still a decoration, you know. I think just the word Grand Slam and to win it in those courts, I feel. Representing my country, it was a big deal. Yeah.
Cool. Actually, representing your country is something I want to speak to you about, because this image here is sort of also about being from the Philippines and being a professional tennis player. What does it mean?
Yeah. I feel like the biggest advantage of representing my country is the community, you know, and the pride that I'm able to bring when I do well to my people, and they come out, they support, they really make the effort. So I'm so appreciative. Yeah.
Cool. Next one is graduation from the Rafa Nadal Academy. Obviously, Iga and Rafa were there present. What did that mean to you when that happened?
I was super excited because every year I would see who was the celebrity guest or who was the guest speaker at each graduation. And I remember there was Roger, I think Paul Gasol was there one year, and I was so excited when it was Iga, because she had just come off a slam win or something.
Yeah, I think the
Roland
French Open was the
Garros,
week
yeah.
before, because Rafa just lost to Novak, I remember.
Yeah, I remember, and no, it was super happy, and I think Iga told me that I remember that she said she'll see me around on tour, and I was like so excited, you know, and it happened. Yeah, it definitely happened.
She did see you around. This is after the win against Iga.
I know. I've watched that video so many times, and it's just so heartwarming. I really tried to just stay in the moment and remember everything, how it felt to be there. But funny story, like I can't really remember anymore. Like I can't really remember what I saw or that moment right after the ball went out. So, but
Do you remember how you were feeling or thinking on match point, or is it almost like you're watching just a video and you don't remember it?
no, yeah, I do. I remember. Yeah, I think I felt
It was on the turn, right?
Yeah, normally when match point comes against these big players, you know, you're trying to get yourself to stop thinking about what would happen if you win, because, you know, but those thoughts didn't come to me at all during the match. I feel I was in a state of such focus that, you know, and I couldn't really believe it when I won. Yeah.
Cool. Then this went viral. This moment that you had afterwards, where obviously you'd lost to Jessica, but you know, I was watching this on TV and I thought, wow, this is amazing. I mean, obviously, hopefully you can have more of this, but again, what do you remember about this few minutes after you'd lost to Jessica?
This was such a sweet moment for me. Let me tell you, I'm definitely not normally like this when I lose.
No.
But this was definitely a special circumstance. I remember the last couple of match points, I was able to save a match point, you know.
Yeah.
And I just tried to prolong the match as long as I could because I knew that this is where I wanted to be. And then after I sat down, after the handshake, I looked up and just so many flags of the Philippines and so many Filipinos. It was past midnight, they were there to stay, and I had just had the best run of my career so far. So there was so much to be happy about in that moment, yeah.
Cool. So that's that. Now, this is quite recently, I believe. I think this is after your run. But also I want to know about Rafa and the influence both his academy, but even Rafa as a player has had on you.
Well, I've been there since I was 13, so obviously deeply rooted with the academy. Rafa has been a role model, you know, someone to look up to for so long, and I think the values match the values that the academy instills matched with the values that my family had when they were raising me. So that's why they felt so comfortable to send me over there. And of course, they have a part in a big part in my game. Yeah.
And Rafa the player?
Rafa the player.
Did you enjoy his career, or were you a fan?
Of course, I don't know who doesn't enjoy Rafa as a player. I remember I watched him one time in center court in French Open when I was young. So before even going to the academy, and it's crazy to see the intensity he has and the way he hits the ball. So much to look up to.
Cool. What about here in Werash? What would it mean? I mean, you've not won a WTA title yet. What would that mean potentially if you were to have a good week here, for example, and maybe even lift the trophy?
It would mean a lot. I think right now what I need is a lot of hours on court, a lot of hours playing at a level that, I'm happy with, and a level that I know I'm capable of. So this is a tournament that will help me do that.
Cool. Last question. I'd like to know about some sort of future goals, maybe even just for 2025. Okay. Do you look at sort of things like, obviously you're going to be in the Slam draw, you're going to be in the main draw now at the French Open. Perhaps that was a goal. But what about now? Because the goals never end, right?
Of course. No, of course. My original goal for 2025 was to finish in top 100 or at least to touch it. And now that I have touched it, it's a lot of new territory for me. So I'm trying to take it match by match, and I feel that's also why this tournament is important, because I'm coming off from such a good week, and I'm starting the clay season. So I give myself the space to figure it out, and then we'll see what my next set of goals are. I'm sure my team already has their own set of goals, but personally, I want to see how the situation unfolds.
But is winning a title, just a title of, whether it be 125, 250, is that one of the next goals?
Yes, of course. You always go into the tournament with the mindset that you can win it, and some tournaments maybe there's a lower chance of that happening, and some tournaments maybe there's a higher chance, but you'll always have a chance.
I do have one more actually. Did Miami surprise you? I mean, you said coming into a tournament, you feel as though you have a good chance maybe of having a good run, but did you expect the semi-finals there?
No, I did not. So yes, it did surprise me. I think Miami 1000 is WTA 1000 is one of the tournaments where I had the lower chance of holding the trophy, but I'm so proud that I was even able to come close, and the way I did it, I had such a tough draw.
I know.
So I had a tough draw. I really had a tough draw.
I mean, you had
I didn't
Madison Keys.
I didn't even realize, because you just look at the first, you're trying to get through one obstacle at a time. And after I passed each one, I'm like, it's just getting harder.
Yeah. Because it was Madison, Iga, and Jessica, wasn't it? And then it,
Yeah, I had Yelena, I had Katie,
Yeah, Yelena as well.
I had Madison, and then Badosa, who
Yeah,
unfortunately
yes.
withdrew. And then Iga, and then Jessica.
It was
and then
just
if
grand-
I had won, it would
Yeah,
have been Arena. So, it's so funny to look back on. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to try to pass the ball.
Go. Sorry. Thank you, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hi everyone, and especially hello to you, Alex Eala fans. I want to highlight something though that you might not be aware of, which is the fact that you can become a member. Click that button that says join. And what kind of things can you benefit if you become a member? Well, let's have a quick look. Here you can see some of the things that you will get as a member. First of all, you'll get exclusive videos that'll only be for you first. Secondly, you'll get other videos that will never be released to the public, just for you members. There are various different levels of membership, but you can begin by just becoming a member from as little as €2, £2, or $2 per month. That's a little over 100 Philippine pesos a month. So not much for some extra content, including some Alex Eala content. In fact, if we look at 2 recent uploads, we've got some of her practices and returns and slices, plus footage of her meeting, greeting, and signing autographs for fans. We've also got an unedited preview and prediction here of her upcoming clash in Miami. And we also have an unedited video of her being interviewed by myself last year in Portugal. Completely unedited and almost 20 minutes, exclusive for members only. There will also be hundreds and hundreds more videos available to you as a member, and hundreds more that are going to be uploaded in the near future, all for just members and all for just $2, €2, or £2 a month. So, what are you waiting for? Just click that join button right now and become a member and get access to the extra footage and, of course, little emojis, including an Alex Eala one, of course. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you, or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life. And I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was such a big, each such important moments in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Ready. Play.
Conferência de imprensa com a Alexandra Eala depois da segunda ronda deste Always Open 125. Alex, tough one up there, of course. Thoughts on the match, please?
I think she played very well. I think it was a good match, tight one for sure, and she performed better in the tight moments, and I know what I have to improve for the next tournament. Yeah.
What do you have to improve?
Well, I think a bit of the movement. It's my first tournament on clay. Being demanding with the quality on each shot, and yeah, just take it step by step. I don't think I'm not super down after the match. I competed well. I did competed to the best of my ability, and yeah, it was a good match. Yeah.
A lot of people came to support you, even at very small courts. Are you still surprised with all those people wanting to see you play? Probably most of them for the first time. How happy are you with the sport?
No, I'm super happy. It's tough conditions to watch here. Cold, windy, a lot of the times raining, and I guess that also affects the conditions of the court for the tennis. So for them to still be here and to support me despite that, it means a lot. Yeah.
Do you think the conditions maybe didn't help you today, or didn't really matter?
Maybe the balls were a bit heavier. I think the weather definitely affects clay courts more in terms of changes of condition than other surfaces. I can't say for sure that in the end it's the same. If the court's wet, the court's heavy. The court's heavy for her, the court's heavy for me. So maybe some certain aspects are advantages to certain game styles, but that's not for me to say. I can't say that it was a disadvantage or whatever. It's just how the court was today. Yeah.
Mentally speaking, how tough was it to go from the central court in Miami to the small court 17 or 18?
I mean,
was it easy for you?
Yeah, it was easy. In the end, I don't really care which court I play. I have to. This is the job. I don't expect now that I'm going to be in center court all the time. Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't expect that. It's not a problem for me to be whichever court. Yeah.
Yeah. Now Madrid and Rome coming. You played Madrid a couple of times. How excited are you to play those two big events like Legic in the top 100? That's where you are at the moment. And how excited are you for that?
Super excited. It's Madrid. I always love going back there, and Rome will be my first time. So much to look forward to. I think, my goals for this clay season, especially after Miami, is just to do better than last year. To improve my game on clay. It's quite a short period of time compared to hard. Yeah, just to feel myself do better and feel myself keeping the level. Yeah.
What is it about clay, do you think, for you and your game that makes it maybe a little bit more tricky than hardcourt, for example?
Well, I grew up on hard court, so it comes more natural to me, and maybe my game is a bit more suited to there, how to move, but not to say that it should change on clay. I don't think in the end, it's a court, you know. So of course, maybe the bounce is higher. It's affected by the weather, but you can't make it such a big deal. It's nothing to change my whole game over. So I believe that I can do just as well on clay as I can on hard. Yeah.
Just coming back to the match today, I mean, 1 or 2 points either way, and we could be looking at a third set, and who knows. And there's one big point in the tie break, I think at 2-4 maybe, or 3-2, and I know you had the line checked. From where I was standing, it was difficult to tell, but you were pretty, keen to have the umpire come and have a look.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I think I'm trying to recall that point, but there were a lot of close. And I think that's the advantage of clay, is that you have the mark, and in the end, if it's really that close, then it's the decision of the umpire. You know, I saw what I saw, but in the end, she makes the final call. So nothing to say about that. Yeah.
Of course, it was not easy the week as well because of the weather. But did you enjoy your staying here in Lisbon? Are you coming back?
Of course, tough loss today, of course, but I think there's a lot of positives to take away. I had fun with the matches that I played, competing, and of course the club is super nice. Yeah, I think organized pretty good. I mean, you had to adapt a lot with the weather, so that's not in our control. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hi everyone, and especially hello to you, Alex Eala fans. I want to highlight something though that you might not be aware of, which is the fact that you can become a member. Click that button that says join. And what kind of things can you benefit if you become a member? Well, let's have a quick look. Here you can see some of the things that you will get as a member. First of all, you'll get exclusive videos that'll only be for you first. Secondly, you'll get other videos that will never be released to the public, just for you members. There are various different levels of membership, but you can begin by just becoming a member from as little as €2, £2, or $2 per month. That's a little over 100 Philippine pesos a month. So not much for some extra content, including some Alex Eala content. In fact, if we look at 2 recent uploads, we've got some of her practices and returns and slices, plus footage of her meeting, greeting, and signing autographs for fans. We've also got an unedited preview and prediction here of her upcoming clash in Miami. And we also have an unedited video of her being interviewed by myself last year in Portugal. Completely unedited and almost 20 minutes, exclusive for members only. There will also be hundreds and hundreds more videos available to you as a member, and hundreds more that are going to be uploaded in the near future, all for just members and all for just $2, €2, or £2 a month. So, what are you waiting for? Just click that join button right now and become a member and get access to the extra footage and, of course, little emojis, including an Alex Eala one, of course. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you, or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there have been there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that I need to focus on, there's nothing much. Nothing much.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life, and I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, I think all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was each such important moments in my life.
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
How do you put into fortifying that mental pressure or that mental fortitude? I'm curious how that process is for you.
It's all about experience for me. I have been competing since I was 6 and playing tennis since I was 4. So you can imagine how many tough situations I've been in regards with tennis. So I truly feel that the more you're put in that situation, the more you learn about yourself and the more you're able to approach certain moments in a way that suits you best. So I think being in those situations and really being brave is the best thing that I can do for myself.
Look at that number, by the way. It looks really sad, doesn't it? 24,999. Looks sad, looks bumpy, looks uneven. We need that. Ah, there we go. That's what it's all about. 25,000. Welcome to the party. And just to celebrate the moment, Coco Gauff mishits a forehand in classic style. I want to address something right now, which is going on social media, and it's regarding Alex Eala. And it's people getting angry and upset when Alex Eala loses a tennis match, by the way. They're going, look, see, this is why you shouldn't be so hyping her up. What is this hype all about? Let me tell you now, there is no Alex Eala hype. She is living in your heads rent-free, as are the fans, by the way, which I think is a marvelous thing for tennis. And as someone who wants tennis to expand and be welcomed in other parts of the world and welcome those into tennis with open arms, you guys that are actually trying to quell that are actually saying, no, I want to keep tennis just for me and the small amount of elites that already are within the sport. I want to see it expand, and I'm wonderfully welcoming to a part of the world such as the Philippines, which has been yearning and is obviously desperate for a sports star to fill the chasm, the void that is obvious and apparent in the wake of the retirement of Manny Pacquiao. Now they have it in Alex Eala. No one is saying that Alex Eala is going to be a Grand Slam winner anytime soon or reaching world number 1. And by the way, this is where you guys that are feeling in the hate on her and saying, why are you hyping her up? No one's hyping her up. And we know that you're conflating the two issues of hype and excitement and drama, all of which Alex Eala definitely brings to tennis. But it's obvious that you're getting the two conflated because you actually get more angry in the wake of an Alex Eala loss, going, look, there you go, that proves it. That shows that she's not going to be doing this. No one, you won't find one single expert former player suggesting she's going to be making top 10 or even possibly top 20. And yet she is world number 32. She's the 32nd best tennis player in the world. That is what she's being recognized for in terms of her tennis ability. But of course, there's a much more wider significance. And if you look at a bit of tennis history, I think it's quite important. You become to realize that not everybody is just about winning titles, about what they can bring to the sport. And what Alex Eala is certainly delivering right now in terms of fandom and interest in the sport. I sometimes wonder, by the way, those of you that are getting really annoyed by this, you're actually really angry about the excitement that she brings and the seats that she fills within a stadium. I sometimes wonder if you get tennis, if you get sport, or even if you get life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.